Finally got it. Had the mics muted. All right, so hey everybody, we are going to be talking about how to find your hidden skill sets today. Have you ever felt like, you're just not a leader? Have you felt like you're more of a follower? Have you felt like you don't really feel like you have anything to offer to anybody else? Yeah, I've been there. And if you've been there with me, drop in hashtag hesitant, because when you feel like that, you feel a little bit more hesitant to put yourself out there, um, to put yourself in front of someone else. And as a business owner, you need to be a leader, someone that someone else is going to follow, and someone else that somebody else wants to work with. So the good news for you though is that more than likely you have more to offer that you haven't considered. The problem is, and we're going to get into this a little bit later, is that we just get used to what we're good at, and so we don't think anything about it. So the first thing we want to talk about today, though, is the 4 levels of learning. This is why you sometimes forget about the awesome skill sets that you have. So if you've heard this before, awesome. We're still going to go over it again. The first level of learning is unconscious incompetence. And these words might seem a little bit harsh, but they're just words. So if you're taking them to be harsh, just take a step back and see what you can learn from this instead. All that this is saying is that you don't know what you don't know with unconscious incompetence. You move on to step 2, the second level of learning. Everybody starts out in something new in unconscious incompetence. You just don't know anything about it. But then you learn a little bit about it, and then it's like, oh man, well now I know what I don't know. And so you're starting to bring some awareness of, ooh, I've got some learning to do here. And then you take the next step up the ladder of learning into conscious competence. It's something that you know about now, but you have to focus really hard and make sure you're being very attentive, very focused to be able to get it done. So that's where the conscious competence comes in. And the last level of learning, you hit that top level of learning, you get to something called unconscious competence. And basically, you start doing stuff, you've built the muscle memory, you've been doing it enough that you just feel comfortable doing it, and you get out there and you just don't even have to think about it anymore. You just do it. It's second nature. This is the level of learning that we all kind of aspire to, but you have to start at the bottom and work your way up and continue to work your way up. Now, this is something that I learned about in my NLP course. It comes down to something called the expert paradox. So this is where I think if you're feeling hesitant or feeling stuck and not feeling like where you have anything to offer anybody else in terms of leadership and support, this is where I want to challenge you to take a good hard look, because the expert paradox talks about that once you get to that highest level of learning, the unconscious competence, you just don't have to think about it anymore. A lot of times we forget that we actually have built up this amazing skill set in that because we just do it every day. But to somebody that is down at level 1, 2, or 3, they are seeing you as the expert. They're seeing you with that skill set. And a lot of times we don't see that in ourselves. So what are some ways that we can kind of break out of this expert paradox? Well, the first one is you go ask your mom, because your mom is going to tell you that you're awesome in tons of ways, right? Maybe that's a little bit facetious. Maybe that's not really a possibility. But it kind of goes to that ask some outside influence. So what you're looking for when you're going to ask for some outside influence is someone that can see you in a positive light, see your strengths, see your benefits, and see where you have an expert capability, because you're going to ask them those questions and then take that and figure out how that resonates with your vision of your business. So that's a great way to do it. Another way, if you don't want to ask anybody else, you just kind of do some deep introspection, But I will tell you, asking from an outside view, somebody that looks up to you, that has that maybe you've done some mentoring or coaching with them before, those are the people that are going to be able to tell you very quickly what your strengths are. And I think that's your quickest way to uncover those hidden talents and skill sets that you may not be fully utilizing because they're just kind of a second nature thing. So those are your skill sets. Now, once you've pinpointed those things, you're going to go in and start developing trainings and other services surrounding those awesome skill sets that you have, because that right there, aligned with your vision and aligned with your business, is going to just put fuel in the gas tank, and you're going to be ready to move. So hope you guys found some value out of that. Now, what I would like you to do is go ahead and drop in the comments below. Think about all of this, ask some people, and then come back to this and drop what is the number one thing that you just realized was your awesome skill set that you didn't really have a strong grasp on before. So what do you have a new and better understanding? You leveled up your learning and remembered that you have an unconscious competence and expert skill set in that area. So go ahead, drop that below, and we will talk to you guys later.